All this extreme festival of motorsport action is proudly brought to you by Investchem and Car Care Clinic. We head to Zwartkops to wrap up 2 championships for the season, starting with absolutely ideal conditions, 33 degrees Celsius, little possibility of rain and the wind, but more importantly, the crowds are back here at Zwartkops, and it's great to have them all here to see the final round of the Investchem Formula 1600s. As we saw at the previous round, Andrew RACKSTRAW's already wrapped up the championship, but it's up for grabs now. Second place, who's going to have it? Will Josh LaRue be able to sort it all out? Or is Jarrod WABERSKI, Andrew Schofield and Nicholas Van Wheelie going to give him a run here in the final round? Final preparations being done on the cars, and you can see them just trying to sort everything out so we can go racing. As soon as those lights go out, we do that. And down towards turn 1, it is a fantastic start from Josh LaRue. He hit the pole, but it's RACKSTRAW who goes on the inside and into turn 1, taking the lead here in the Formula 1600s. Just in the background, look out for big action in the Formula Kent class, as well as the head down onto the braking markers into turn 2. LaRue is second, WABERSKI running his outside, and there is Gerard GELDENHUYS putting pressure already onto Andrew Schofield as they came side by side, coming onto the little short straight. Speaking of side by side, this is HOLTZHAUSEN's point of view as he goes side by side there with the magnificent paint and hardware car of Van Wheelie. They 2 by 2 as they head towards turn 4. Eventually going to have to sort things out, and that's exactly what they do. But around the outside, Antwan now getting in the mix there and looking for an opportunity to get through. Looks like, GELDENHUYS has just been able to squeeze past, but in doing that, you can see almost defensive driving instantaneously coming out of Van Wheelie, and Van Wheelie moves up 1 position as well, getting through there on Gerard. As they came through turn 5, the 2 GELDENHUYS boys now putting the pressure back onto the magnificent paint and hardware car of Van Wheelie. Van Wheelie soaking up that pressure, trying to just bridge the gap there ever so slightly there from the 2 brothers as they head down towards turn 8. Oh, here comes Antwan on the inside of Gerard, looking for a chance. Oh, it's very close. Has a big look there, has to lock up the wheels though, and that just cost him slightly. And all of a sudden, they're all coming into the mix almost instantaneously as HOLTZHAUSEN again. HOLTZHAUSEN bringing along the rest of the pack there. Alex Foss and Brendan Tracy at the back end of Formula 1600s. Front end of the Formula Ford Kents looks like HEPBUN going in it with Duncan Foss again, and Ron Van Wheelie's in it too. So the 2 GELDENHUYS boys are starting to lose a little bit of ground there to Van Wheelie. Maybe just fighting amongst themselves, just slowing them down ever so slightly and allowing Van Wheelie a chance to try and bridge that gap a little bit further up the road there to Schofield. Schofield trying to do the same thing there to Jarrod WABERSKI, who sits in 3rd place. Super start there from WABERSKI, but he just wasn't able to get through into the 2nd place. He tried hard around the outside going into turn 2. Here we go on board with Alex Foss as we head to the top of the hill now. He's going to try and close things down on HOLTZHAUSEN. HOLTZHAUSEN could be defensive driving coming from him. No, not quite close enough to make that gap and make that move stick, but he has definitely closed down a little bit on the car in front of him. So we're definitely in for a bit of a battle there between Foss and HOLTZHAUSEN. HOLTZHAUSEN now under pressure and filling it a bit more. You can see at the front end, it's all about control. The man who's wrapped up the championship wants 2 victories here today to seal the deal. The perfect way to end the season with a double victory and the last blood of the season. That's very important. But Josh LaRue, more importantly, in 2nd, has to stay there if he wants 2nd place in the championship. The battles continue. 2 GELDENHUYS boys going at it. No chance yet for Antwan to get through on Gerard. Gerard going defensive and holding his line, getting it done perfectly. The 2 of them now starting to work together, actually. Watching those lap times come down, you can see the 2 of them are now starting to work together and looking to try and get back at Van Wheelie. This is WABERSKI's point of view, coming out of 3 onto the back straight. Look at that. Little gear change there, coming onto that and a short shift onto the back straight, and there he goes into turn 4. It's back up for the gearbox ever so slightly. Here comes a move. Oh, big one there coming out of Foss. He had a big look. Alex Foss had a massive look there, but just wasn't close enough to get through on HOLTZHAUSEN. Ewan HOLTZHAUSEN having an absolutely awesome finish to the season. Front end of the Kent class, it is HEPBUN, as we expected, but HEPBUN has got some pressure coming from Duncan Foss initially, but that pressure is now dissipated. You can see Duncan Foss has dropped back ever so slightly and left this man all on his own. So he's done it all right, has Graham HEPBUN, leaving Foss and Van Wheelie to go at it with Alan Meyer. Let's have a look and see if we can pick up that gap as they get onto the back straight away. It's huge. It is a massive advantage he's got. And they're eventually going to come through at some point. Yes, it's going to be Duncan Foss and Van Wheelie. There it is. Foss and Van Wheelie. And in fact, there is Alan Meyer in it as well. So there's a 3-way battle. Well, it's now a 2-way battle for 3rd place. It was a 3-way battle for 2nd. And the Lieutenant Colonel is just fending off all he can at this stage to keep out Ron Van Wheelie. Great to have Ron back in it as well in the 2nd of those magnificent paint and hardware cars. Onto the brakes, and Duncan Foss is just controlling things in 2nd now. He's got a little bit of breathing room as the 2 of them go at it behind him for 3rd. Foss, unfortunately, has lost out a massive amount of ground, as we saw there, to Graham HEPBUN. And I don't think HEPBUN's going to be troubled in the least. Back to Andrew RACKSTRAW as he goes up through turn 6. And you can see just how easy he's had it. Coming to the checkered flag. Perfectly done from 2nd place on the grid. Josh LaRue actually getting his pole position. Wasn't able to capitalize on it. You can see them in the mix there with some of the back cars. In fact, that's Ian Schofield slowing in the back there, and he's just been overtaken by RACKSTRAW. RACKSTRAW takes the victory. Josh LaRue comes for second. And is that enough? I think it might be just to put one hand on the trophy there for LaRue. Waberski in third. It was Schofield who came through for fourth, Van Wheelie in fifth, and then it was Gerard and Antwan GELDENHUYS coming through to wrap things up there, just ahead of Alex Vos, HOLTZHAUSEN, and Brendan Tracy. Top end, and just in the background, I'm going to try and pick up, there he is, Hepburn coming down to the line. And the Kent class goes easily to Graham Hepburn, beating out Duncan Vos and Ron Van Wheelie for the top three. It's a confirmation of the results there. Andrew RACKSTRAW, as we've said, already wrapping up the championship, but getting the last, or second last victory of the season, ahead of Josh LaRue, Waberski and Schofield, and Nick Van Wheelie. Hepburn ahead of Vos, Van Wheelie, Meyer, and Schultz in the Kent class.
Josh, pole for start on Mom's birthday, but that didn't go according to plan.
Yeah, I slept a bit on the start. We didn't expect the lights to go so fast. And then towards the end of the race, the car just started falling off. But otherwise, it was really fun. And I'm very happy with my result for the first race.
And with that first race result, it also secures you third overall for the championship for the year.
Yes, I'm very happy about that. I seriously did not expect this coming into the year. I'm very happy. And I'm very thankful for Uncle Brian and my parents for all the support and work they've put in as well.
Fantastic, humble young man there, and certainly a man with a big future in single-seaters if he carries on the way he's going. And it's going to be a big battle next year between him and RACKSTRAW, as he's now got to grips with all the circuits around the country. Guys now getting final preparations done for the race of the season, the final one of the season in Formula 1600s and the Formula Ford Kents. Schofield would love to be on the podium. He's going to try hard in the Fly Sapphire car, as will Holtzhausen. Everyone has definitely had some luck go his way here at Zwartkops in the past as the lights go out. Let's see if it goes his way this time. Coming from a long way back, though, it's a big ask as they head on towards turn one. Once again, around the outside. In fact, no, different change up there. LaRue was on the inside, and of course the man in pole was RACKSTRAW. And RACKSTRAW got the whole shot from that pole position, showing the youngster what to do. Oh, in the background, a couple of cars running wide onto the dirty stuff. So it's RACKSTRAW from LaRue, and it's Waberski and Schofield, and oh, he has a big moment. Oh, Vos coming together with Holtzhausen. The two of them slamming into the wall, coming out of turn two. Alex Vos with nowhere to go, going straight into the side of Holtzhausen. Hepburn's got a problem as well. Looks like there's a possibility of, I was going to say a safety car, but it's a red flag that's been called. Let's have a look at that once again. This is on board with Alex Vos. As you can see, he comes out. Holtzhausen comes across on him. There's the lock of the wheels. In single-seaters, you cannot afford to do that. Two of them slamming into the Zwartkops wall on the exit point there of turn two. And I'm not quite sure what happened there with Graham Hepburn, but here is Holtzhausen's point of view. As they head down, a little touch already there. He went onto the dirty stuff. That was the car that we saw go off. He comes back on, tries to get on the brakes late, and as he goes in there, he gets through nicely, but comes across a little bit too soon, and that's where the lockup happened between himself and Alex Vos. And then it was just grass and kitty litter everywhere. Big moment there for them. Let's have a look and see on this restart now if they can get it all right. This time a much better start coming from Antwan GELDENHUYS as he tries to dive through there and get right up alongside his brother and alongside Andrew Schofield. Great start from Alan Meyer. He's got Vos on his tail and Van Wheelie. We have got Graham Hepburn missing from the field. Remember, he was out after that turn two incident. And now as they come through into turn two again, this time all clean and clear? Yes, only just. Jarrod GELDENHUYS with a much better start from him as well. He's up to fourth place, right on Waberski's tail, ahead of Andrew Schofield. So Schofield, as I said, was looking for a podium, but he's going to have to fight hard now. In fact, he's going to have to fight even harder because he's lost out to Antwan and to Jarrod GELDENHUYS. Big issues there for Andrew Schofield as he drops back into the clutches there of the last two cars in Formula 1600s. Coming onto the brakes now, this is Josh LaRue's point of view. Can he try and steal a victory here in the last race of the season and show Andrew RACKSTRAW what he's going to be involved in next year in Formula 1600s if he chooses to stay here as the reigning champion? As they come through Kenwood, you can see the pressure being put on there by Andrew Schofield onto the back end of Van Wheelie. Van Wheelie soaking it up with no issues whatsoever. Trying to close things down there in the back as well. Watch out for Brendan Tracy as he has got a much better start and a slightly quicker car underneath him here for heat number two. RACKSTRAW and LaRue across the line ahead of Waberski. The GELDENHUYS boys are in reverse order to what they were in the first heat. It's Antwan ahead of Gerard. And here comes late braking from the 69 car. Great start from Paul Schultz. Much better start there coming from him as well. Now on the tailpiece of Alan Meyer looking for a chance of a first place here and fighting hard for it. Van Wheelie starting to close things down, but he's got a lot of work to do to catch these two. They've got a slight advantage over him at the moment. Alan Meyer going defensive here. No, he takes the normal line, doesn't go defensive, opens up the door. Can't do that. You've got Paul Schultz on your tail. Might possibly make you have to pay for that. All problems. Duncan Vos out as well, parked on the sideline. That's on the inside of turn 6 by the looks of things. Let's have a look at Graham Hepburn's point of view in a turn 2 earlier on. There's a stone hitting his GoPro. That's from Holtzhausen. As he turns in, he gets a little bit of assistance. I think that's Alan Meyer who went up his back. Yes, it is. The Lieutenant Colonel giving him a little tap from behind and putting Graham Hepburn out of it. This is Alan Meyer's point of view. See, he tries to go and avoid the stones and just maybe he got caught out by the big spray of stones coming off HOLTZHAUSEN's car and didn't see. Oh, another car off. 69 spins out Paul Schultz. How are they going to stay on track? None of these Formula Ford Kent guys want to play here, by the looks of it. Into the final stages, you have the final race of 2021. Great driving here from Antwan GELDENHUYS. One of the best drives we've seen at Zwartkops from him. Gerard GELDENHUYS now with huge pressure coming from Nick Van Wheelie and from Schofield. Schofield going a little bit wide, coming out of turn 4, putting a wheel on the dirt. 7 car though hanging on. Possibilities of a top 4 finish for him. Van Wheelie would like to be slightly higher up, and you can see he's attempting a go here and trying to set things up on Gerard GELDENHUYS. Coming to the closing stages, the top 3 I don't think are going to change up. RACKSTRAW, LaRue and Waberski stay the same. But there's good possibility of some changes here. As RACKSTRAW is leading things out, you can see Schofield, the other Andrew, going at it at the back end of the field. Ooh, off track again for Brendan Tracy. Looks like something's gone wrong on that car. He pulls to the side and out of harm's way. Back to the front end of Kent's, and look at how Van Wheelie has closed on Alan Meyer. So we lost Schultz earlier on. You saw him go off track and out of turn 8. And now Alan Meyer looking for a victory this season in the Kent class. Can he keep out Van Wheelie on the last couple of laps here? It's going to be very tight. In fact, they're on their last lap as RACKSTRAW comes down now to take the checkered flag. 2 wins on the day to wrap things up for a perfect season. What a way to go, and what a way to end this championship for this youngster. But Josh LaRue has certainly shown him that he's going to be in for a run for his money next year. Oh, what a move there from Van Wheelie as well. Diving through in the closing stages. Schofield nearly got there. He nearly got there. Van Wheelie got through there and just squeezed out Jarrod GELDENHUYS, but Schofield wasn't able to do it. Let's have a look at those confirmation results. Yes, there you have it. RACKSTRAW from LaRue, Waberski and GELDENHUYS, and then Van Wheelie. Ron Van Wheelie taking the victory in the Kent class ahead of Alan Meyer, Schultz and Voss.
Ron, just as well you own a hardware store. Your Formula Kent took a beating this weekend.
Yeah, I know. It was crashes all over the show. It was Alan into Hepburn, Voss into Alan, and I managed to escape that one, come around and then start the race again. And then we went again, and then I managed to get up next to Alan. And then at the top of the hill, I outbraked Duncan. And then we went round at the top of the hill. I was on the inside, and the next minute I just felt somebody hitting. I saw it was Duncan, and then he went off. And then I came around, and then I chased Alan down, and Notchbury, and then I managed to get Alan, and then that was it. I managed to finish first, so I'm quite chuffed, and I stayed out of trouble.
Probably going to be some big trouble in 2022 if the top 3 stay in this championship. RACKSTRAW taking it ahead of Waberski, LaRue in 3rd place, but it was very close between the 2 of them. Join us off the break from Zwartkops and some more action from the Extreme Festival.